It was Halloween night in 1976, a night that seemed ordinary to three teenage boys cruising around town in their 71 Javelin. What started as a night of carefree fun quickly turned into a horrifying memory that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. After a few hours at a Halloween party, the boys decided to leave. They felt the night needed more excitement. Little did they know, their search for thrill would soon turn deadly serious. On a whim, they agreed to visit the town's oldest graveyard at the stroke of midnight. Located atop a hill, the graveyard was overrun by nature, its tombstones hidden beneath a canopy of ancient trees. The iron gate groaned as they pushed it open, just wide enough to squeeze through. As they stepped inside, a chill crept through the air. They whispered nervously, their voices lost among the silent graves. With each step, the tension mounted. The boys, who moments earlier were laughing, now felt the weight of where they stood. That's when it happened. The silence was shattered by an ear-piercing scream, raw, anguished, and full of rage. It was a sound no living thing should make. The boys froze. Then, without a word, they ran for their lives. Their feet pounded the earth as they tore through the graveyard, tripping over graves in their frantic escape. The screams seemed to follow them, growing louder, more intense. The boys barely made it through the gate before slamming it shut behind them. They piled into the car, the screams now impossibly close, right outside the window. Fumbling for the keys, the driver finally managed to start the engine. The tires screeched as they sped off into the night, the horrifying sounds fading behind them. Far away from the graveyard, the boys sat in stunned silence. No words could describe what they had felt. No explanation for the screams that had chased them. They had wanted excitement, but what they found was something far worse. That Halloween marked the end of their search for thrills. The boys never spoke of that night again. For them, Halloween would never be the same. As adults, they could only look back and shudder at the memory of the faceless horror that had screamed for them in the darkness. Some say the graveyard is still haunted, that the screams can be heard if you dare to visit after midnight. But for those boys, one thing was certain. They had witnessed something no one could ever explain, and no one would believe.